What's up, people? JayDub here to present to you already one of the most buzzed about segments in PWTR history, and that's based off of the response that we've received from listeners in the last 24 hours since this episode has been posted. And I have to provide a little backstory to you guys, paint a picture so you know exactly what's going on here. So Bryan, he's out on Monday Night Raw and he's cutting a promo demeaning John Cena by using the phrase entertainer. Oh, John Cena, he's just an entertainer while I'm a professional wrestler. And I honestly was pissed the hell off when he said that. I was pissed at the highest level of pisstivity. And I took great offense to that, seeing as I am a fan of entertainers. I'm a fan of entertainment, specifically wrestling entertainment, even more specifically world wrestling entertainment. So I took great offense to that on behalf of WWE, on behalf of John Cena, and even more great entertainers that have graced a wrestling ring throughout the history. And some of those names include Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, arguably three of the greatest superstars of all time. And some people would even say that they would argue that you should take that arguably out of there. Like if you were naming the greatest pro wrestlers of all time, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, most popular, they would throw them up there in whatever order you want to throw them up there, but I digress. Like I said, I was pissed off to the highest level of pisstivity, and I responded accordingly. I had to do what needed to be done, and I went off on Bryan's ass. I threw CM Punk in the same boat with him, and all hell broke loose. You really have to listen to this segment of PWTR. What I'm posting you guys on YouTube, literally, it's not even a half of it. So you're going to have to head over to pwfempire.net. If you like what you hear here, head over there and leave your comments over there also. You can listen to the whole segment, listen to the whole episode of PWTR. Leave your comments over there, and we'll get to them next week on Pro Wrestling Talk Radio, because I want this to be a flowing discussion. I've had my say. Now it's your turn to have yours. Pro wrestling versus sports entertainment. Here we go. What's up, people? JayDub here. Thank you for tuning in to Pro Wrestling Talk Radio, the show where wrestling fans rate and debate the hottest topics in the world of wrestling. I'm joined tonight on the hosting panel by David. Bryan, he basically goes on this tirade, and he's talking about how he's a professional wrestler and John Cena is an entertainer, and how he's better than John Cena. He's going to beat him for the WWE Championship, all of that good stuff. David, we have heard this before, this whole argument against John Cena. Was Bryan effective in his turn?
I want to say yes. I think that in theory this was a great promo, but you also have to put into account it's kind of old news. We get the fact that John Cena isn't the most coordinated guy in the ring. We get the fact that he barely touches the guy when he does the 5-knuckle shuffle. It's kind of beating a dead horse. It is entertaining to see it, but at the same time, it's very old at this point. I think that as far as the crowd reaction, that was the worst part. This crowd for Raw, it was awful. I think they were in Green Bay. Were they?
Yep.
Yeah, that was an awful crowd. I never remember them being that bad. They can get bad when you talk bad about their team or when you screw up what town you're in, but when it comes to actual professional wrestling, it's a horrible crowd. So I don't think that did Bryan any favors. But I do think that as far as where the storyline has been going, I think that they could have done a completely different type of storyline. Since Shawn Michaels trained Bryan, well, allegedly, apparently he just took Bryan's money and whatnot, but that's not the point. I was watching a video of somebody giving their thoughts on Raw, and I have to agree with him. I don't know if it's you mind if I give a shout out?
It depends on who the person is.
It's not Spinner Net or anybody. All right, let's just call him Bruce. I'll call him Mr. Bruce, and he brought up an interesting topic. They should have gone for a boyhood dream storyline. I know it's been done before with Shawn Michaels, but that was years ago. That's like, 17 years ago, I think. So with Bryan, it's perfect for him because he's small. He identifies with the kids more. He's like a cartoon character. And I think they should have done video packages about him saying how it's always been his dream to be WWE champion. Now, you would have buried the World Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship. He's already been World Champion, but they already do that themselves with Alberto Del Rio, so you don't have to worry about that. To have him go out there and say, it's my dream, Shawn Michaels trained me, and instead of having the McMahon so involved with it, you should have Triple H and Shawn Michaels be involved with it, saying, I trained Daniel Bryan, he's my protege, and maybe that would get him over a bit. I would have probably preferred that storyline to this one. I liked where this one was going, but that storyline probably would have been better for Daniel Bryan. That could have like propelled him to being a megastar, and having Daniel Bryan just ruin his dream, that would have been amazing.
Honestly, I do not believe that this promo was as effective as some of the other times that we have heard it. Let me just state first and foremost, the whole wrestler versus entertainer thing, I think that the shit is stupid. It really is. That's one of the things that I dislike the most out of WWE, the way that people try to play on the whole terms and, oh, WWE, oh, we can't use the term wrestler, so I'm going to get a cheap pop when I say wrestler. People, answer this question. What the fuck does the second W in WWE stand for? When people get in the ring, what the fuck do they do?
They sports entertain people.
They sports entertain. Look, the thing is, this argument is so stupid. Let's take it out of the context of wrestling, because I believe that some people are so brainwashed with WWE and how, oh, they can't use the term wrestler, so they have something against wrestling, when at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what they call themselves. They're a professional wrestling organization. Let's look at the NBA. Kobe Bryant is a Laker. A Laker is a branded term. It's Los Angeles's branded term for a basketball player. Do you ever imagine yourself hearing Kobe Bryant say, I'm not a Laker, I'm a basketball player? Do you realize how fucking stupid that would sound?
Now
like
that
a sport,
yeah.
A sports entertainer is nothing but WWE's branded term for a professional wrestler. That's what sports entertainers are. They're professional wrestlers just under the guise of WWE. And at the end of the day, Daniel Bryan, he can say all that he wants to, and CM Punk, he's done the same damn thing before. They can talk about all they want to about how they're wrestlers, but at the end of the day, the term wrestling is not only afforded to the people who do wrestling good. That's what people think. That, like, they think that, oh, because you're not a good wrestler, you can't call yourself a wrestler. What the fuck type of sense does that make? At the end of the day, Daniel Bryan is just as much as a wrestler as John Cena is. Daniel Bryan is just as much a wrestler as the Great Khali is. That's the motherfucking whole truth.
Lord have mercy.
And that's the truth to it. But like I said,
I
does
think
not.
You need to.
No, I don't care. Bring it the hell on. But basically, what I'm saying is that the term wrestling is not only afforded to the people who do it on a great level. Everyone is a fucking wrestler in WWE.
I agreed with you until you compared Daniel Bryan to Great Khali. That's you don't even do that to Ryback.
They are both wrestlers. Is that true or not?
Great Khali is like
they're both wrestlers. That's all I'm saying. One of them is one of them is amazing and one of them fucking sucks. But at the end of the day, they're both still wrestlers. They are.
I use the term wrestler loosely.
And as much issue as Daniel Bryan or people like CM Punk would seem to think that they have over the term wrestler and sports entertainer, they call themselves wrestlers, but they're cashing superstar paychecks though. So I don't get that. Like I don't know if the auditoriums and high school gyms are extinct now. Like, they're still out there. If your ass wants to go wrestle in one of them, go right ahead. And I think like this is how bad Daniel Bryan bringing up the term, oh, I'm not a professional entertainer, I'm a wrestler, or whatever the hell he said. I'm not an entertainer, I'm a wrestler. I think that was so bad that it was specifically designed for John Cena to knock it out of the park. Because when you look at Daniel Bryan's promo and look how weak it was, and look out at how John Cena came out with guns blazing, because he stood up for the history of the WWE Championship. He stood up for the prestige of that company, and he told Daniel Bryan, you're so concerned on the damn past that you're not looking at what you have right now. You're not looking forward, and you don't, why do you want the WWE Championship? That did make a lot of sense to me, questioning why Daniel Bryan would want the WWE Championship when he doesn't even adhere to what the company represents. Like, how is that championship so important to you if you don't even give a damn about the company that it represents? That's an amazing question that I would love to know the answer to.